Are you paying too much in taxes? Elevated Tax and Accounting is a firm that specializes in tax planning and strategy to minimize your tax bill. Elevated Tax consult with you on tax strategy throughout the year, so no more waiting until the end of the year and hoping for the best. As a business owner, you know your sole focus should be spent working on your business, not in it. Outsourcing gives you the time to concentrate on the core reasons you started your company, to create and innovate a top-tier product and generate profits. Elevated Tax and Accounting, elevating you and your business with a modern professional touch.
Our entire team at Ryan & Miller appreciates every client that comes to us. Getting to help them one-on-one with their individual case means the world to us. So thank you to all of our clients who contact us and come to us for their legal services. We appreciate it.
Let's see, 1 sec. Yep, we're good.
Coffee?
Let's do it.
Is there a specific spot I should look?
Just whoever asks you a question. Yeah.
Awesome.
I guess first one, it's been a lot of seniors as of late. So when you got approached, and I guess, was it a surprise? And what was kind of the emotion when you first found out?
Yeah, I was kind of definitely surprised. I mean, I was kind of just coming up here. I always thought it was a senior, and that was kind of how the way things were. And then doing more research into it, I see kind of how it was younger guys quite a few years ago. So it's kind of unique to be able to kind of go back to that old tradition, and I was definitely super excited and definitely honored to be able to take that role again and hopefully kind of grow into the jersey and earn it as I'm able to have more time here, a few more seasons than most of the seniors get, so super excited for that.
You mentioned just sort of learning about the history. You obviously know the last couple guys that wore it, but then going back through the history books, what was that like for you? What sort of tidbits did you learn? I
mean, it's just awesome to see kind of the players and where they ended up, where they were from, kind of what they represent, kind of Montana. Obviously, Tim Houck was a big one that I had known had it, and I get to deal with him kind of, every day. So it's kind of cool to be able to have that older guidance and experience kind of and be able to deal with him as a coach. So I think that's a super unique, but even older 37, guys I didn't really get quite to play with, like Marcus Wellnow, Jace Lewis, reaching out and saying congratulations and stuff like that. It's really cool to kind of see the bond and brotherhood that those guys have with the younger guys and kind of take you under their wing and kind of, give you the support and stuff you need. So it's awesome.
What was the conversation like with Trevin when he was giving you that number?
Well, actually, he brought me in and he was like, have maybe an NIL thing at Hooligans, which is a bar in Billings. And he was like, yeah, maybe we can just grab lunch. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Like, it's kind of odd. Like, I talked to Trev, but not super close with him. But I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So I went over into lunch and I walked in and I'm like, oh, gosh, something's up. Because he was like small talking and beating around the bush, and then he's like, look, man, he's like, I'm gonna give you 37. And I was like, kind of thought he was joking at first, and I'm like, oh man, that was awesome. And then gave him a hug and stuff, and kind of started small talk again after that. But it was awesome. It was an honor.
Did you have any thought that it might be you?
Not really. No, actually kind of not at all. I thought for sure it was just an NIL thing, and just seeing Trev, I hadn't seen him in quite a while since he's done now, and I knew he was back in Billings, and I was back visiting family, so I really had no idea. So it was pretty blindsided, but definitely a good surprise.
To get it from a guy from same hometown as you, was that kind of special as well? Like you mentioned, you're doing this all in Billings. That's kind of unique. I don't know if I was looking at the list. I think Missoula is the only school that had back-to-back guys, or out of town, I guess.
It was super unique. I think me and Trev and I were the first two kind of from Billings, and to be able to go back-to-back was super unique. I think it's a great look for Billings. I think a lot of time Billings doesn't get the recognition it deserves for guys that it kind of puts out. So it's really good to be able to represent not only Montana, but also kind of our home city. So.
And
really
you're the first guy from Billings Central to wear it too, so just sort of paving that trail. What do you think of that part?
Super unique. You just see kind of how small our graduating classes are, and the type of kids that come out of there, and I think it's just a great way to represent kind of the people in Billings and also the school community, which is super small, and the faith base there and everything like that. So it's just super awesome. It's a great community to represent. Happy to do it.
The more years that you're in the program, you kind of get a leadership role the older you get, but now that you're kind of the 37, it kind of maybe accelerates that a little bit. What's that like mentally, just knowing all right, man, I gotta be ready to roll from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, it definitely feels kind of like a jump start, kind of where I was kind of expecting to be, but the seniors I have now and even the older guys are great, and they still do a ton of stuff and are taking control of the workouts and keeping guys in line. So it makes everything super easy for me. I get to just kind of go out there and play and look up to them and learn from them. And, still not much really changes for me. I just get to kind of keep grinding, which is good.
Last year we saw you crack in a little bit of special teams, right? And a lot of these guys who've worn 37, including Trevin, that's kind of how they cut their teeth. So for you, just kind of what was it like getting on the field last year for the first time, and then, seeing that maybe the team, the coaches, your teammates kind of see a lot of potential in you as well?
It was awesome. It's good to have that kind of belief that you feel from the coaches. They trust you enough to be out there and to be able to make plays as a younger guy. And think that's a huge step forward for any player that's kind of coming up here. And it was awesome. I mean, there's nothing like playing here in front of fans and playing on the road and, you know, playing for these coaches and these guys you get to dress up with. So, I mean, there's no honor and feeling like it.
This number is just going to have a lot of eyes on it, just kind of how it is. You know, a lot of fans in the stands are wearing that number. So, like, how do you want to be viewed as, you know, the athlete that wears that number for the next few years?
You know, just kind of as a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes in order to make stuff work. You know, definitely as like more of a grinder type player, and just always kind of let my work ethic do the talking for everything like that, and just someone guys can come to, and, you know, kind of a nice guy in the locker room and stuff like that, and able to get stuff done on the field.
The Treasure State University of Montana football is a way of life. Lithia Ford has long been a proud sponsor of Griz football, and Lithia Ford of Missoula is thrilled to have several of the best Montana football seniors driving the best trucks in Montana. Aspen Sound is the premier car audio and accessory shop in Montana. Aspen Sound makes sure the boys are riding in style with tinted windows and state-of-the-art stereo systems. There's always a party in Montana. Whether you're going to a concert, a wedding, or a football game, the Montana Party Bus will get you there. Skyline Sports and ESPN MT cover the Big Sky with more depth than anyone. Check out SkylineSportsMT.com and tune in to Nuanez Now on 102.9 ESPN Missoula every day. My Montana Roots and Wear Your Roots clothing is your go-to spot for the most unique and comfortable lifestyle clothing you'll find anywhere. And get your custom t-shirts to support your favorite player. From 5 local businesses who love Montana, best of luck to the Griz as they pursue another Big Sky Conference championship.
Being in this industry since I was in college, one of the things I think we take the most pride in is Aspen Sound's been such a presence in Missoula for almost 40 years. The cool parts about our job is people always ask me, what do you do for a living? I sell phone, whether it's as simple as window tint all the way up to integrating a backup camera into the factory screen. I'm pretty excited about the options we can present.
Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any town pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
What's the last couple of years been like for you, just from a developmental standpoint? And where do you think you've improved just as a football player?
You know, I kind of just think like strength and speed wise. I mean, we do so many little workouts. It may not feel as you do, you know, a ton each day, but when you're doing it repetitively, I feel like you really kind of start to notice yourself getting, you know, stronger and faster, and you get more used to the workouts, and your body kind of gets more used to what you're doing. And I think just kind of overall speed and strength wise is really kind of where I've seen the most improvement in myself, kind of, and in my game, which is huge.
Obviously, a complex defense you guys run, so how's that part gone, just picking that up over the last couple of years?
You know, it's good. I've kind of bounced around from middle to outsides. You know, I kind of can try to play both in all 3 of the spots, so it's good. It definitely helps you pick up the defense. You know, sometimes when you zero in on one spot, you might have a tough time kind of seeing how all the other pieces fit, but when you're playing all 3 and, you know, communicating with safeties and linemen, you really start to kind of pick up and get a feel for everything as a whole. So it's definitely made, especially this last spring, getting moved around quite a bit, it definitely makes things easier to grasp.
I know you talked about the pride about getting the number. I'm curious, like, what maybe the reception was from parents and some family and kind of their reaction to it.
Oh, they were super stoked. I mean, when you're a little kid here, your first memories of football are kind of the people who play, you know, here and wear 37, especially number 37 from Montana. I mean, that's the guy you kind of look up to when you're getting into sports and everything like that. So my parents were super stoked, super supportive. You know, I had hundreds of calls from family and all that stuff, you know, just giving me a ton of support and reassurance and stuff, and good luck wishes and stuff, and then friends, family. I mean, people I don't really you know or talk to or reaching out. So you really do kind of feel the strength and the connection of the whole state, kind of how they reach out and they back you, and that's a great feeling. I mean, it's super easy when you have fans behind you and support system behind you. I mean, it's super easy to go out and do what you love to do, so super honored.
Do you feel any pressure wearing the number?
You know, not really, because I mean, I look at the older guys in front of me and kind of how they have the reins and how, you know, they're great leaders, and I just kind of fall into the line. I just feel, you know, super excited. You know, I'm more excited and just like ecstatic to be able to go out and try to, you know, prove what I can do and go out and help the team win. And I think that's all that that's all that kind of matters to me. So not too much pressure, you know, more just pure excitement.
You played with a couple guys, Levi and Trevin, right? So what'd you learn from just watching them sort of carry on the tradition?
You know, I think just the leadership. I mean, the first guy I really dealt with when I got here was Levi, you know, being a senior in the locker room when I was just coming in, and he was, you know, super awesome, super supportive. I mean, you could see he was a pretty serious dude, at least when I was younger I thought he was, and he, you know, worked his ass off all the time. So it was awesome to kind of take tips from him and guys like Trev and see, you know, Wellnell before him and kind of how they play and their drive and stuff and what they do and how they work out, you know, everything they do, the intensity they carry through workouts. So I think it's really awesome to be able to see that as a younger guy and kind of try to replicate that, you know, in a way and carry that on. So I had great leaders coming up and through here.
Sweet.
You were recently arrested, and now you're wondering, do I need to hire a criminal defense attorney? And the answer is yes, you do. This is not the time to gamble with your future and with your freedom. Here at Ryan & Miller, we have over 40 years of experience with criminal defense, and we take it very seriously that we protect our clients' rights. So if you have any questions and want to know how our team can help you, make sure to give us a call today.